Today we're making New Orleans style beef po' boy. So let's get started. For our New Orleans beef style po' boy, we are going to need a beef roast about 3 to 4 pounds, some beef broth, some Cajun seasoning, an onion, some provolone cheese, some brown gravy mix, some olive oil, and some po' boy rolls. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get our onion chopped up. This being we're only using one, shouldn't take too long. There we go. And we're just going to do a rough chop on our onions. Set those to the side. Then we're going to take our beef roast, and as always, when working with raw meat, we want to make sure we wash our hands before and after. Then we're going to season all sides of the roast. Need to press this in. I'll put a little bit more here. And then the last side. Alright, so now we're going to move over to a stove and we're going to start searing this up. So be back in just a minute. We have our oven safe pot heating up on a medium-high heat. And then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we are going to add in our beef roast. And we are going to sear this on all sides for about 3 to 5 minutes to get a good crust. And so we're going to go ahead and do this. And once we get ready to pull it out, we'll be right back. Okay, so our roast has got a good crust on all sides. So we are going to remove this from the pot. And we're going to set this to the side. So to our hot pan or pot, we are going to add in our large onion. Turn this down just a little bit. And we're going to cook these down till they're soft, which will take probably about 5 to 10 minutes. So once we've got these cooked down, we'll be right back. Alright, so our onions have been going about 5 minutes and all the good stuff at the bottom has come up. So to this, we are going to add 1 container of beef broth. Give this a stir. And we're going to return our roast to the pot. And we are going to let this come up to a boil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover this and then it's going to go into a 250 degree preheated oven for about 2 to 3 hours till it's tender. So we'll be back once we're at that point. So see you soon. All right, so this has come up to a boil. Now we're going to cover this up, and this is going to go into a 250 degree preheated oven for 2 to 3 hours till tender. So see you in a few hours. Okay, so this has been in the oven for a little over an hour, and what we want to do is we want to make sure there's enough liquid still in the pot. So let's get this pulled out. Alright, looks like we need to add a little bit more broth to the pot. We're going to add about another cup. Give this a stir. Alright, we're going to close this back up and check on it in about an hour. So be back in a little bit. Okay, so this has been going for about 2.5 hours. So we're going to make sure that it's nice and tender. Oh yeah, perfect. So we're going to pull this out the pot, set this to the side. Ouch. All right, so we're going to move this out the way. Whoops. My cutting board out. And what we're going to do is we're going to give this a rough shred. And we're going to set this on another plate. Put that right there. All right. And we want to make sure that we get any large chunks of fat out. We'll set that to the side right there. So I'm going to continue shredding this here, and we'll be back once it's all shredded up. So I'll be back in just a little bit. All right, so we've got our beef all shredded up. Now we need to start mixing in our gravy. So I've got our gravy, our broth heating up on a medium heat, and we're going to mix in a cup of brown gravy mix. And we're going to make sure that gets all blended in before we add in our next pack. All right, and we're going to let this come up to a boil. And once it comes up to a boil, then we're going to add in our shredded beef. So once it's boiling, we'll be right back. All right, so the gravy is coming to a slow boil. At this point, we're going to check it to see if it needs anything. Perfect, just the way it is. So now what we're going to do, we'll take our shredded beef and add it to our gravy. And give this a good stir. And then what we're going to do is we will set it and let it simmer for about an hour. So we're going to cover this up, put this down on a low simmer, and we'll check it in an hour. So be right back. Okay, so this has been simmering for an additional hour, so let's give it a look. All right, everything looks good. So let's get prepped up and ready and start making some po' boys. So we'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, so let's get to building our po' boy. So we're gonna get a po' boy bun, and we're gonna put some mayo. Whoops. And then we are gonna get us some beef. Spread that across the bottom. There we go. All right, then we're gonna get us a little bit of, get our cheese. I'm gonna split this in half. And we're going to top this with a little bit of shredded lettuce. A couple of tomatoes. And then we're going to serve this up with some chips. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. New videos are posted every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And remember, enjoy.